All right, surface area and volume. So this is a longer video, not super long, but definitely a little longer than normal. And we're going through 7 different examples of different types of surface area and volume you can be asked for. Really, if you know the appropriate formula, this is not very hard. It's just a question of just plugging in numbers. But if you don't know the formula, it's impossible. So it really just comes down to memorizing these formulas. They are all in the info quadrant on the home screen. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Surface area of a cylinder. So we're gonna say radius equals 5, height equals 2. Okay, so they give us this surface area of a cylinder, and then from here we should be able to solve. So the key is, what's the formula? So we have pi r squared plus 2 pi times radius times height. Pi r squared plus 2 pi radius height. So now we just have to plug in from here, right? So pi times 5 squared, because radius is 5, plus 2 times pi times 5, which was the radius, and we said the height was 2, right? There we go. Now keep going. 5 squared is 25, so we'll have 25 pi right here, plus we have 2 pi, 5 times 2 is 10, right? We have that, we're almost there. 10 times 2 is 20, so we're going to end up with 20 pi and 25 pi, right? Add those two together, 45 pi, right? So there's a little bit of math to it, but really pretty simple multiplication and addition. Just important that we knew the formula to get started. Okay. Second one is volume of a sphere. So do we know this formula for volume of a sphere? First thing we're given is radius is 4. That's all they tell us, right? So from that, do we know how to solve? So volume of a sphere, we have 4/3 pi r to the 3rd, right? And so let's go ahead and solve this. 4/3 times pi times 4 to the 3rd. Okay, 4 to the 3rd is 64. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. All right, so we get a 64 in there. 4/3 pi times 64, right? And then we just have to multiply out the 4/3 times 64 over 1. So we'll save you the math, and that ends up at 256 over 3 times pi, which is approximately 85 pi. Okay, that's just a bunch of plugging in once we know the formula there. First two down, volume of a cone. Okay, we're going to say radius is 4, height 3. Okay, volume of a cone is pi r squared times h height over 3. Okay, and then we're just plugging this in. 4 here, so we got pi times 4 squared. We said height was 3, so times 3 over 3, so that's going to be 1, right? And 4 squared is 16, so now we have 16 pi times 1. We'll end up with 16 pi for this one. So that was volume of a cone. Volume of a cube. So this is probably the easiest one from the standpoint of memorizing a formula. Volume of a cube is a to the 3rd, right? So if they tell me I have a side, each side is 6, let's say, right? And then I'll know that means it's 6 to the 3rd, and 6 to the 3rd is 216, right? So 6 times 6 is 36, 36 times 6, 216, so that's the volume of a cone. You've got a cube aside. Volume of rectangular solid. Okay, so we need to know length. They'll give us length, width, and height. for rectangular solid, whether it's volume or surface area. So these next two, one is volume, the next is surface area. So we're gonna say length 10, width 6, height 4. Okay, so if we just need to know volume of a rectangular solid, we're just going to multiply these together, right? And we'll get 10 times 6 is 60, times 4 is 240, and that's volume of rectangular solid. Now we'll keep these numbers the same, and what if they ask us for surface area? Okay, formula here, we have 2 length times width plus 2 width times height plus 2 length times height, okay? And that's gonna be the formula for surface area. So if we were doing this, we would just kind of plug in here. We go 2 times length times width, 10 times 6 plus 2 width times height, 6 times 4 plus, sorry, I ran out of room there, 2 times 10 times the height is 4. Okay, and then we multiply these all out. 10 times 6 is 60, times 2 would give us 120, plus 6 times 4 is 24, plus 2, 48, plus 42 times 2, 80. All right, those are our three numbers. If we add these up, we get 248. Okay, so that's surface area of a rectangular solid. This is the formula we need to know for this one. Kind of boring having to memorize all these formulas, but it's a part of math, unfortunately. All right, last one, volume of a cylinder. So we get radius is 6, height 4. Okay, formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared 2h, 2 height, that's supposed to say squared. Okay, pi r squared times 2 times height is volume of a cylinder. Okay, so if we look at this, we have radius of 6, so pi times 6 squared times 2 times the height is 4. Okay, and then we just go ahead and solve this out. Okay, so we got 6 squared is 36, so that's 36 pi, 4 times 2 is 8, that's good there. And now we're just going to multiply 36 times 8 and throw a pi on there at the end, and that is 288 pi.